today for this video, I wanted to go over and discuss what Ewan McGregor talked about when in an interview about the KENOBI show.
We won at the beginning of our story, rather broken and faithless and beaten, somewhat given up.
And this definitely makes sense for a character like Obi-Wan Kenobi because of everything that he's gone through. But what I thought was really interesting was how he said at the beginning of the story he was like this. So what I need to find out in the show is what makes him possibly change his mind and to not act like this anymore. Is a new hope? Is he just have more hope into Luke Skywalker? Maybe that is another reason.
Well, he's different because of what's happened at the end of Episode 3 with the Jedi, with Order 66 and the Jedi Order being slaughtered, and everyone who survived going into hiding after dealing with his personal failure with Anakin, that he feels that the responsibility that he allowed Anakin to be tempted into over to the dark side, and that he wasn't able to stop that, and that his teaching wasn't strong enough to be able to protect Anakin from that I think weighs obviously very heavily on him. Yeah, it was very special. It was very odd. It's odd to come back to something after such a long period of time. We made the last film in 2003, and I guess it was early last year I went down to do some casting, and they wanted to do screen tests with some young actors. We were on the Mandalorian set. I think it was a weekend and they were not shooting, so we'd used a bit of their set, and it was their, I think, mainly the Mandalorian crew. But I walked out, I went into my dressing room and there was some random Jedi stuff, not stuff that I'd worn in the other films, but just based on, or some Jedi type clothing. And I put it on, and it just felt it felt great. It felt important, and it felt special, and I was happy. But it wasn't really till I walked out onto the stage, and someone said, "Okay, ready," and I've got my line. Obviously I've got my role, but the young actors I'm reading with maybe don't have their role. So I've got my page. I'm just making sure I know my lines, because I don't want to screw up my lines for their screen test, their camera test. And I was walking out, and I sort of looked up, and I was aware suddenly of the crew, who are the Mandalorian crew, but looking at me coming in Obi-Wan's costume, and I could feel like that sort of excitement running through. It was exciting. It was cool. I look over at him. He's Anakin now. I'm Obi-Wan now, and it's like nothing had happened. Like, I didn't see any age on his face. I just felt like, we just, like, the period of time between Episode 3 and now just didn't exist or something. It was so peculiar.
Now, all those things you just mentioned were really interesting, but the most important thing, I believe, was what he mentioned about how he looked over the screen and he saw Anakin again. So, if he saw Hayden playing Anakin, we're definitely going to be getting some flashback scenes of Obi-Wan and Anakin both, maybe on Mustafar episode in the pictures, or even just them working together during the Clone Wars. That is basically confirmed now of him talking about Anakin, and him on the Mandalorian set was really cool because we know who works with the Mandalorian, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. So maybe Ewan talked about some of his lines, saying talking with Dave Filoni about how to improve other types of things like that as well. Anyway, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and may the Force be with you always.